Alright, so in the last video we did see a few examples of average rate of change. I just wanted to go over a couple more just in case you guys were still having trouble with it, okay? So just to recap, average rate of change is just delta y over delta x, okay? And that's just pretty much your difference in y. So y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1, okay? It could also be written as f of x2 minus f of x1 all over, not that, all over x2 minus x1. So I pretty much just replaced our y's with the more common notation used later on in math, which is represented as a function evaluated at x, okay? So pretty much it's what we're doing whenever we have a certain function. So let's go ahead and go into a different function. Let's say we had f of x is equal to, I don't know, let's just say um, 3x squared plus 5x. All right, so let's say this is our function, okay? Um, Pretty much, so first step is that you want to figure this out, right? So you need the two y values, okay? So let's say they want us to find the average rate of change from, let's say, -2 to 3, okay? So first things first, whenever they want you to find average rate of change, you know that they're going to give you a y value, I mean a function, right? And your goal is to go in and find out what their x values are that they gave you. So usually they'll tell you from here to here, right? So let's just say this is our x1 and that's our x2, okay? So pretty much they give us the x values. Our goal is to take these x values, stick them into this equation, right? And get our y values from there, okay? And then once we have our y values, now we can plug them into this difference equation to find the average rate of change, all right? So let's go ahead and do that. So let's plug in f of -2. So if we plug in -2, we get 3 -2 squared plus 5 times -2, right? So everywhere there was an x, we plugged in -2 now. So that's going to give us 3. -2 squared is going to end up giving us positive 4. And then 5 times -2 is going to give us a -10, right? Good. So now let's go ahead and evaluate a little more. So 3 times 4 is going to give us 12. 12 minus 10 gives us 2. All right, so this is going to be our first y value. And since we named this one x1, that -2, we're going to name this then y1 as well, okay? Or if we look up here, it's pretty much just going to be whatever the function evaluated at 1 is, okay? So either way. Um, let's do the next one now. So f of 3, if we plug in all our values, we get 3 squared plus 5 times 3 also. And this gives us 9 times 3, which is 27, plus 15. And then that ends up giving us, what does it give us? 30, 42? 42. Cool. And then this answer will now be our y2. Okay? So, or like I said, just your function plugged in at that point. So let's go ahead and plug this into our equation. So remember delta y over delta x, or we can write it as f of x2, so our x2 in this case was 3, f of x2 minus f of x1, which in this case was -2, all over, all over x2 minus x1, which gives us 3 minus -2, okay? And if we go in, we find out, well, what's f of 3? Well, we found out what that is. F of 3 is just 42, so we put 42 minus, f of negative 2, we found out that that's just positive 2, so we'll put that there as well. All over 3 minus negative 2, which ends up being 3 plus 2. And so when we evaluate, we get 40 over 5, which ends up giving us 8. And that's pretty much it, guys. So that was just one more example of how to do this stuff. So let me know if you guys have any questions, okay? That's pretty much it. So to recap, you're going to look for all your y values, right? So they're usually going to give you a function. And in that function, they want you to find the average rate of change between two x values. And your goal is to find the y values so that you can put it into this equation right here. Okay? Awesome. Let me know if you guys have questions.